everybody, it's TF Renegade here, and I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Age of the Prime's Micronus. Now, this was a figure that was not on my radar at all because I was just like, this is going to be a skip. It doesn't look that good, and it just looks kind of lame, honestly. So imagine my shock and surprise when I get this guy, and he's actually pretty fun. I'm not saying he's an amazing figure, but he is pretty fun. If you don't know who this guy is, Micronus is one of the 13th primes. This design is based off of his RID 2015, you know, that crappy show they made for Cartoon Network back then. You can see this guy right here is Micronus, and you can see he's got a very RID design there. I read on the TF Wiki that this is an exosuit that was from TF Prime. I don't know if that's 100% true, but that's just what I read about it. So yeah, this is just an exosuit back here, and this is the actual character of Micronus. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at him. Now, when it comes to the exosuit of Micronus here, I think this thing turned out amazing. I love the way he looks and feels, and it's one of those things where you have to have him in person to really appreciate it because the pictures aren't going to do him justice. They look really lame. So getting him in person, it's a world of difference, and I love how this guy turned out. You can see he's got an awesome head sculpt over here, nice little silver visor on the top. My favorite part is this chest area. I love the molded details on it. You whip this thing open, you can see Micronus is just a little key in the middle there, and he powers his little suit. He comes with this clear plastic piece you have to put in the middle. It's like the only accessory he comes with because his guns are molded into his fingers over here, but he still has a port on his hands if you want to put a gun there. He's got awesome little stubby feet. I love how these things turned out. They're pretty cool. You flip him around. He does have some gappage back there. It doesn't bother me, so you got that. You got these little spindles over here, which will be his wheels in his vehicle mode, which look pretty cool. You got those. And he's got his little bicycle piece at the top there. So, yeah, I mean, that's about it for the exosuit. It's just a really neat looking little figure. So when it comes to our guy Micronus here, he's just a little mini con. There's not much going on here. He's got some awesome clear plastic all throughout him, though. I think it looks pretty cool. He does have some nice paint on there as well. You can see he's got his little RID face right there. Looks kind of stupid. Sorry, I'm just kidding. I just don't like the RID designs, but if you like them, you got that there. And you flip him around. He's got some gappage on the back of his legs there. Nothing too exciting going on back here. Just a little port for when he plugs in. But yeah, that's about it for him. When it comes to the articulation on the exosuit, he can look to the left. He can look to the right. He can look all the way around if you want him to. It is a bit of a tight fit just because of this piece back here, but you can do it if you want. He cannot look up, but he can look down upon you if you so choose. You can stick his arm out all the way like so, but when you turn it all the way around, it does get stuck on this piece, so you just have to keep it out like so to do that. He does have a bicep rotation, an elbow bend, and a wrist swivel, which is nice because we rarely get that. But we got a wrist swivel, but no waist swivel. It's a bit of a bummer, but there's going to be more to this waist later, so we'll just wait for that. When it comes to the thighs, he does have a thigh rotation, which is nice. We love that. We can kick out all the way, we can kick back all the way, and we can kick out to the side all the way as well, so at least that's nice. And, of course, we've got ankle rockers, so you know what that means. We can make this guy stand any way we please. So for the comparisons, let's go ahead and slap a smaller guy in here with Beachcomber. You can see they're about the same size. So you can see those right there. So you got him. And next up, we'll bring out another Deluxe. We have Solus Prime. So you can see how these two look together. They're both primes. So they look pretty good. So you got that. And next up, we'll bring out a Voyager. So let's go ahead and slap our guy Heatwave in here. So you can see how they look. We got to back up just a little bit so you can see them. And of course, last but not least, let's go ahead and bring out the behemoth himself, Studio Series 86 Optimus. So you can see he's a beast compared to the little micro guy. So before we go to the vehicle mode, there's one last thing you can do with the exosuit. So this thing is actually also a weaponizer. So you can take out all these pieces on here. And the coolest one to me was the legs. I really love how the legs come out here. You can take that little piece out so you get the whole waist and the legs over here. And I think that's pretty cool. You can take that out. So you just got this little chest piece left here. So you can go ahead and slap that in and kind of fold everything up there. So you got this weird little backpack thing here. So what you could do is you could stick all his pieces on another Deluxe figure. And as you can see, it's a bit of a mess. I wouldn't do this. But if you want to have that playability, it is there if you want it. So here we have Micronus and his exosuit in the vehicle mode, and I gotta say, this thing is really weird, but I love it. It's such a fun little design, and it's just so cool. It does have a lot of parts forming involved, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's not difficult and it's not irritating. Like, everything fits in fine, and his legs, like the bottom part of his body, turns into this giant wheel on the bottom. That is so cool. I really love that design. It's really awesome. The hands are just sticking straight out, but it's not a big deal because these pieces do cover it on the side. And I mean, there's not much really to say about it except that it's just a really cool thing. And it rolls really nice too. I don't know, there's a lot of playability here with this. And you could stick the Minicon on top there, and it's just really cool. And just really quickly, here we have Micronus in his little Minicon mode, so you can see how that looks. So for vehicle comparison, let's go ahead and put our little Deluxe in here with Beachcomber. You can see how they look together. I think they look pretty good. So you got that. We'll put our other Prime out here with Solus, so you can see how they look. Look pretty good. So you've got that. And then we'll bring out our Voyager with Heatwave. You can see they're almost the same height. So you've got that. And last but not least, the behemoth himself, 86 Optimus. You can see how they look together. Looks pretty good. So what are my final thoughts on Transformers Age of the Primes Micronus? He's fun, and I think they did a really good job on him, but it really depends on your collection. Like, if you are a little bit more serious about your spending and which figures you want to put in your collection, I think you can skip him. Like, you're not missing that much. But if you're collecting the primes and you like fun toys, this is a perfect figure for you, and I think you'll really enjoy him. But like I said, it really depends on your collection. So for the collector's rating, I'm going to go ahead and give Micronus a 9. I think he's a really fun toy. I think they did an excellent job on him. He does have parts forming and some hollow gaps on the back of his legs over here, but it really isn't that big of a deal. I think he's still a fun figure, and I think you'll enjoy him if you want him. When it comes to the parents rating, he's going to get a 9.5. I think he's a really fun toy for kids. He doesn't have any small accessories aside from that little piece that you have to plug in at the beginning, and I guess the Minicon, but I don't know. They might have him plugged in most of the time anyways. It really depends, but he's really fun, and you can stick him on the little handlebars, so there's some playability there, and he's a weaponizer, so you can stick him on other figures. So I think this is a really fun toy that kids would actually like. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you like the content, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me when you do. And leave your comments down below. That's the most important part of these videos, is what you guys think. Do you guys love Micronus? Do you hate him? Or do you feel meh about him? So go ahead and leave those comments down below, and I will see you guys next time.